Ashley here. Today we're going to be covering some 3-star Queen Walk strategy at Town Hall 9. Now, before I get to that, real quickly, I just wanted to update you briefly on the channel, Clash with Ash, and thank you all for your support again. The channel is growing pretty nicely here, and we are going to be going to Supercell headquarters in Helsinki, Finland, as a featured guest as part of ClashCon, so I really want to hear if any of my viewers are going to be attending the ClashCon, and maybe I can do a little meetup with some of you guys, and if there's any kind of behind the scenes or anything I can bring you guys, I certainly will. I will be leaving in a couple weeks for Finland, so during that time I just wanted to touch base on the video content. I am going to unroll a new series for beginners and mid-level Town Hall people. Now I know that's not my huge audience base, it's mostly Town Hall 8, 9, and 10 to this channel, but I figured I would put out a one-time series to help beginners, maybe if I have any friends or family in real life who are looking to get into the game, this might help transition them, and I want to make it pro tips for beginners. So I'm going to be having that. I'm excited to unroll that, as well as some scheduled interviews, some more expert interviews with some really special guests on the way during those weeks that I'm away, so there will be scheduled content coming up. But anyway, let's hop right into the replays today. Let's discuss a little bit about what we're going to be talking about. So it's 3-star attacks, like I said, using Queen Walk, and the idea here is to incorporate Valkyries and also make sure you can control the direction of the Queen on the Queen Walk. So we're going to be talking about both of those things in these replays. I should mention this is an arranged war with 49er War Clan. They're a great and really well-known clan. They were one of the first American United States-based clans to level 7 and level 8. So I think they're probably well on their way to level 9 clan now. But let's go ahead and take a look at what types of attacks they're doing here. This is Town Hall 9. Skeeto is a 9.5. Should mention that. Even though his queen is a little bit over level 30 there, it's still a maxed out village and some max walls there as well. So certainly a difficult village, and the attacker is maxed for Town Hall 9 as well. Should mention that these are max heroes. And before I get too far into all the replay action here, I will mention that these attackers have maxed heroes because 49er War Clan, most of their Town Hall 9s have max heroes. Doesn't mean the strategy won't work with a lower level hero, especially if you're lower level queen, I should say, especially if you're attacking a non-max base. So anyway, let's go right into the replay here. You want to note the troop composition. We have 12 of the Hogs, we have 9 of the Valkyries, and the rest is kind of a Queen Walk variation. Sure, there's a Max Golem over there in the clan castle. So here we go, starting the Queen. Now, I always tell people, if you're having problems directing the Queen on the Queen Walk, controlling what direction she heads in, go ahead and start her next to an army camp. She'll almost always move in the opposite direction of the army camp, because the army camp takes up so many spaces on the map. That's actually a great way to gauge which direction she's going to head. She's not going to traverse the entire four little what do you call them, space, 4-segment area. Rather, she's going to go ahead and go the opposite direction of the army camp. So that's a great place to place her in the beginning of a raid. And you can see this attacker, Spike here from 49er War Clan, he was able to go ahead and start his king and the Valkyries in the opposite direction, up in the north of the map, and they converge and meet over there with the healers, and the healers, well, they'll swap off. I'm sure you guys already know this, but the healers will actually swap off to the Barbarian King or even to a Golem if need be, if they're taking more damage and if they cross paths into the pathing lane of the Queen. So you can see here almost 50%, and the Hogs have just now gone on the board here. So the Hogs are going to do a great job of taking out the surrounding defensive units, the ancillary units, and what they're going to do is most of them will get taken out by point defense and splash damage and by the giant bombs, but they just do a great job clearing the way, keeping the Valkyries and the King alive. The Valkyries are great on this strategy. Like I said, I should mention right now in the video that I really advise having the Archer Queen at least level 15 for this type of strategy, even if you're not going against a max base. A lot of people out there will say that it only really requires level 10, but just to my liking, it's kind of a slower attack when you have a lower level Queen, because you're relying pretty heavily on her DPS and certainly her hit points. So I prefer at least level 15, preferably even level 20 would be nice. But you can see how it's definitely a very viable viable strategy, and those Valkyries actually do a lot of work. They do a good job at cleanup, and they're able to stay alive because of their hit points, obviously. So let's go ahead and go to the next attack here on Paul Morphy. Like I said, guys, these are max heroes, but they are max bases as well. And I should mention yet again that you can probably pull this off with relative ease with a level 20 queen, and you can still attempt it with a level 15 queen. So here we go. Here now, this is another way to control the queen's direction that she's going to walk in. Here you can see TK16 was able to place a wizard over there to clean out that barracks. Now there's a huge expanse over there towards the north of the queen right now, so she's definitely going to head south. So these are the type of things you look for in a base. If we pause real quickly here, if we look around the base, there's really not a great obvious other area you could have put her in. Maybe if you started her around where that wall is, that single wall over here, and then she might take out this army camp with a wizard, then you could probably direct her towards the north. But obviously where the attacker, where TK went in, was able to finish the walk closer to the actual enemy, the defending queen, and that's what you want to have happen. So you can see that was the perfect spot to enter this base. These are the kind of things you want to look for. In a perfect world, you'd like to end that queen walk towards the defensive queen. That way you can take her out with your queen. Doesn't always work that way, but that would be the best case scenario, and that's what this attacker is going to do here. So this is an arranged war. I did mention that earlier, but I will be bringing a full war recap. It's a really tight one right now, and it's because of attacks like this that they have a 2-star edge right now. They do have a couple more attacks used, so I think it's really going to come down to Town Hall 10 3-stars. I don't know if either team's going to be able to get one. We'll have to wait and see. I'll bring a recap to you guys maybe in a day or two. So you can see here there was a Lava Hound in the clan castle. Not that big of a deal. TK was able to take care of it with the queen and some wizards there. He brought plenty of wizards to this battle, and you can see those Valkyries. Watch this. Under a heal spell and a rage spell, they are doing a heck of a lot of damage, and you can see they're just, obviously the whirlwind attack, getting in between those storage units in the expo, as in this example right now. They can just take down a lot of hit points in not a lot of time, and because of their high hit points themselves, they're actually able to stay alive, at least a few of them, throughout the entire raid and help in the cleanup as well. Look at these hogs over here. The attacker only brings 6 hogs. They actually do a great job of really traveling the entire perimeter of the base. He starts them around 9 o'clock on the map, and they make it almost all the way to 3 o'clock. So basically, they're going to take care of all the splash damage left on the board, and they took down the wizard tower and the mortar there, and then they're going to kind of die off right now, but at this point, he still has both heroes alive. That's obviously the beauty of having the healer, the queen walk. The whole idea is to keep your queen, maybe even your king, alive till the end of the raid. That way they're able to help with the cleanup. So you can see here the Valkyries making their way to help with the cleanup a little bit. The queen's going to go ahead and take care of that last hidden Tesla. And there it is, another 3-star attack using that strategy. They're big fans of it here. I'd never covered this strategy, guys, with the Valkyries added. I've done tons of Queen Walk stuff, but not with the Valkyries, and I've been seeing all kinds of new content with the Queen Walk strategy, whether it be Earthquake spell or using a bunch of giants. I'll have all that stuff coming up to you in the next week or two. So this one is not against the max base, so I should mention that. So it's a little bit easier of a challenge here for the attacker Gold Rush, but it was still, I thought, a noteworthy attack to bring you guys, mainly because you can see he was able to just perfectly dictate the direction that the queen was going to head. This time it's going to be coming in from 9 o'clock, heading down towards 6 o'clock, right towards that enemy queen. And you can see the question mark over the enemy, or the defending queen, I should say. And that means she's really close to being engaged to the offensive queen. In just a second here, his queen's going to head south. Even if that queen had taken down that army camp up there, she still would have head towards the south, because there's just more direction, more distance up towards the north, and the queen's always going to head to the closest unit, depending on walls, obviously, but I'm speaking in terms of the queen walk. She's going to head to the closest unit and then make her way around the walls. That's because of the new queen AI that was changed a couple updates ago now, where the queen now will not just shoot through walls. Instead, she'll travel around the base. I'm sure we've seen that a lot of times going against what we planned, but in these cases, obviously, it helps, and it's certainly the biggest thing going as far as 3-star strategy in the game right now, even at Town Hall 10. we'll have some of those attacks, a little foreshadowing, hopefully, to share with you guys in an episode really soon here. So this attacker has 12 hogs. He has one heal spell and one more jump spell. Uses the jump, really opening up the rest of the base except for the really far north over there. So you can almost guess where he's going to go ahead and deploy those hogs. Obviously, with the hogs, the reason we're delaying so long from the attacker's point of view is he wants to make sure that they're not going to be running into the base until all the defensive units are distracted. Now, obviously, not 100% of them, but you really don't want your hogs running into tons of point and splash damage. So, for example, if you deploy the hogs a little bit too early in these types of attacks, well, they're going to be going against, Expos, Wizard Towers, Teslas. They'll go down really fast. So what you want to do is kind of delay the hog deployment just a little bit. That way, you can wait till your golems, your heroes, preferably, are in the center of the base, and then from there on out, you can go ahead and deploy the hogs. That way they can distract as many of the defensive units as possible. You can see he still has a bunch of wizards, a Valkyrie or two left on the board, a full golem, and the queen at full health, or very close to. So it was certainly an easy victory for Gold Rush there on Santos. But guys, I'm going to go ahead and end it here. Hopefully we can come back, pull off this win, and I'll bring you the full recap. So shout out to 49er War Clan, and thanks so much for the continued support, guys. I really appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed the content as always. Take care, guys. Hey guys, thanks for watching my video. I wanted to give you 3 quick ways you can help the channel out. Number 1, subscribe if you're not already. It really helps me. Number 2 is give a thumbs up, like the video. Number 3, continue to tell your clanmates about my channel. It really helps and I really appreciate it. And also social media. You can find me, follow me on Twitter at @clash_with_ash. Also, follow me or find me on Bindle at #ClashWithAsh. And don't forget to visit my website, www.clashwithash.com. Take care, guys.